Hi, welcome to Weathering Chemo. My name's Naomi, and this is a place you can come to get therapeutic strategies for managing the side effects of chemo. Today's video is a little different. Today we're going to be talking about our pets, and I have Bruno here with me, and he is excited to join us today. So pets are an integral part of our lives, and I think when we're talking about chemotherapy, we need to also talk about our pets and how we're going to manage them in our everyday. So one area I wanted to focus on to start with is precautions. Precautions for both yourself as well as for your pet. So, as you know, when you're going through chemotherapy, you may be immunocompromised, meaning that it is harder for your body to fight off infections. As such, I want you to think about this when you're with your pets. Make sure that you have some sort of a barrier or a blanket or clothing, something between your skin and your pet, because any scratches to your skin could lead to an infection, and that may be harder for your body to fight off right now. Another area to consider is the licks on your face from your pets. So if you have a dog that maybe loves to lick on your face, try to avoid the mouth and the nose, because these are areas where pathogens can easily get introduced and you can possibly catch an infection or some kind of disease. You don't need that right now. So just try to avoid any licking around the mouth and the nose. And another precaution to take is a little bit different, but if you have a turtle or a duck as a pet, this may not be the best time to be handling them a lot. These pets can transmit something called salmonella. And again, that's something that can make you quite ill. So I would talk to your doctor, talk to your vet, and maybe reduce any real close contact with your pets if they're a duck or a turtle. So there's that. And then I want us to think about precautions for our pets. So you may be concerned and wonder, if I've been infused with chemo, can I transmit it to my pet by being close to them? Research on this is mixed. Some indicate that it's no problem at all to be close contact with your pet, that the chemotherapy would not be introduced to them, while other reputable sites suggest keeping a small bit of time where you're not as close to your pet. So about 48 to 72 hours was recommended on some sites for minimizing super close direct contact. Now, you can just talk to your doctor or err on the side of caution. I personally kind of stayed wary of my pet for the first day or two after chemo, just because I felt like it just didn't feel right? Because if you think about it, it is coursing through your body. It has to be expelled somehow. Most of it's coming out through our urine, but there is some in our saliva and as well as in our perspiration. So if you're touching on your pet, it is possible that the chemotherapy could be somehow getting introduced to your pet. Now, how likely that is, I think nobody is quite sure, but I just wanted to throw it out there so you have that information. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is a research study that this group did for individuals going through breast cancer, chemotherapy, and how they interacted with their pets. And it was such an interesting study because it pointed out so many of the pros. They were able to quantify all the good things that our pets do for us. But it also pointed out some challenges. And I think those are good to see because it's realistic. How do we actually manage our pets? So some of the pros were things that you may already know anyway, right? So things like boosting our mood. Being near our pets, it brings us joy. It lifts our mood. It makes us feel better. It's mutually beneficial relationship. If you're alone and you have your pet near you, you don't feel so lonely anymore. So they're a great companion, and it's unconditional love. And it's just, if you have a pet, So there are just so many pros to go with having a pet. It did point out some of the challenges, though, and that's what I want to talk about right now. So many people in the study expressed that they felt guilt over not being able to meet the needs of their pet. And it is very understandable. And I'm glad it came up in this study because it is so hard when you are struggling with chemotherapy to take care of yourself, never mind another individual or pet. It just takes that much more effort, especially if you're feeling really, really sick. And some days with chemo are awful. So I'm glad that the research brought it up. It's something to think about. And I'd like you to start thinking in your mind, if you haven't already, of is there any way that someone can come in and help with your pet? When I'm thinking about cats in particular, while this is not a wonderfully fun job, but having someone help you with the litter cleanup would be really helpful. Those bags require a lot of energy to lift. They're very heavy. And cleaning the litter box itself may not be the most hygienic thing for you to be doing right now when you are immunocompromised. So that's something to think about. And if you have a dog, many times they need walking, and there's issues with toileting as well. How is that getting managed? Now, some days with chemo, you may feel fine and the walk will be most beneficial. But there may be days with the chemo-induced fatigue or nausea that you are not capable of taking the dog for a walk, and that is acceptable and fine. What you do need to do is find someone to help you. So I'd like you to start thinking about it if you haven't already. Reach out to a neighbor, maybe a friend or a family member. Worst case, maybe you can find somebody who can come into your house and help you with some things. Besides just the pet care, there may be other things that have just piled up that you just can't manage. Maybe a meal prep, maybe helping with the laundry, as well as walking the pets or cleaning a litter box. So while this isn't a super fun topic, I do want to bring it up because it's a practical everyday need that we have. And it's something that may impact you on a daily basis. And I want to give you some options and things to think about. So I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're feeling better. Remember to pet your pets. It's fun. And you know what? Just getting out of the bed and sitting in a chair and petting my cat is better than just sitting on the phone in a chair, zoned out. This is therapeutic for me and for my pet. Well, I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.